All right, let's get right into it. For pretty much our entire lives, we've been sold this idea that discipline is all about having some kind of iron will. But what if that whole concept is just wrong? Today, we're going to tear that down and look at a completely different approach. The idea that real, lasting discipline isn't something you force, it's something you engineer. It's not a personality trait, it's a system, literally an operating system for your success. This quote right here just blows that old idea out of the water, doesn't it? It gets straight to the point. The whole just try harder mentality is actually why so many of us burn out and fail. The secret isn't more force. It's about having a smarter understanding of your own mind. And that leads us perfectly into our first big idea, what we're calling the willpower lie. Look, if you've ever felt like you're in a constant war with yourself to stay on track, it's because you are. The traditional way of thinking about discipline sets you up for that fight. It frames success as a battle, but here's the thing, it's a battle you are not designed to win. And you can see the difference laid out right here. The old way is all about grit and force. You just push and push until you're exhausted because, and this is key, willpower is a finite resource. It runs out. The new way, it's all about psychology and smart design. You create systems that make the right choices almost automatic. It's about working with your nature, not against it. So how do we actually build these systems? Well, it starts with understanding the hardware you're working with, your brain. Think of it this way. A lot of us are trying to run our lives on really buggy, outdated software. To get that genuine discipline, you need to upgrade your personal operating system, and you do that by getting to know how your brain really works. So inside your head, you've basically got two key players. First, there's the planner. That's your prefrontal cortex. It's the logical, conscious part of you. It makes great plans, but it has a really limited battery life. It gets tired so easily. This is where your so-called willpower lives. But then you have the automaton, your basal ganglia. This part is subconscious, it's incredibly powerful, and it just runs on habits. It doesn't think, it doesn't judge, it just executes whatever program you give it. Okay, so this is the absolute game changer. Instead of draining your planner's battery all day long trying to make good choices, you use that conscious energy just once to design a system. You program the automaton, and then you let that powerful subconscious part of your brain run the show on autopilot. You do the hard thinking one time so that the daily execution becomes practically effortless. So where's the best place to start building these systems? The single most powerful lever you can pull is your environment. We love to think we're in total control of our choices, but the hard truth is that our surroundings are constantly pushing and pulling us, making good choices either really easy or next to impossible. And this quote just says it all. You can have the best intentions in the world, the most motivation you've ever felt, but if your environment is set up for failure, your environment will win. Every time. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a law of human nature. The people who seem the most disciplined aren't superhuman, they're just better architects of their world. So how do you become an architect? It's a simple 3-step process. First, elimination. Just get rid of the triggers for the bad habits. If you don't want to eat cookies, don't have cookies in the house. It's that simple. Second, optimization. You make the good habits, the ones you want to build, as easy and frictionless as possible. And third, installation. You intentionally add new cues and reminders into your space that constantly point you towards your goals. And this stuff applies to everything. In your physical world, yeah, lay out your workout clothes. It removes one tiny step, making it that much easier to go. Digitally, just delete those time-wasting apps. Get them off your phone. And this is a big one, socially. The people you hang out with are part of your environment. Spend time with disciplined people, and you'll find yourself leveling up automatically. It's all about making your environment do the heavy lifting for you. Now, engineering your environment is huge, but it's really only half the battle. The other deeper part of this is shifting your identity. See, even in a perfect environment, if you're trying to force yourself to do things that contradict who you believe you are, you're gonna fail. Real, permanent change happens when you stop just acting like a disciplined person and you start being one. The difference is subtle but incredibly powerful. Outcome-based thinking is focused on the goal. I want to write a book. But identity-based thinking focuses on who you become. I am a writer. See the shift? You're no longer forcing yourself to do something unnatural. You're just acting in a way that's consistent with who you are. A writer writes. A healthy person makes healthy choices. It's just what they do. So, why is this so effective? Well, it taps into this powerful psychological principle called cognitive consistency. Here's the secret. Your brain hates being a hypocrite. It has this deep, subconscious need to make your actions line up with your internal beliefs. So if you can change the belief, if you truly believe, I am a disciplined person, your brain will start to subconsciously find ways to make that your reality. So how do you actually do that? It's a process. First, you have to decide, clearly, who you want to be. Step 2, and this is the most important part, you have to prove it to yourself with small, consistent wins. You're not trying to change the world overnight. You're just gathering evidence. Because every action you take is like casting a vote for that new identity. Go for a run? That's a vote for, I am a runner. Eat a healthy meal? That's a vote for, I am a healthy person. The votes add up. So what's the end game here? What's the ultimate payoff for doing all this work? For building the systems, for engineering your environment, for shifting your identity? It's actually pretty amazing. It's the point where discipline stops feeling like a struggle at all. By investing a little discomfort up front to build the system, you buy yourself a future of long-term ease. I mean, just look at the two paths laid out here. The undisciplined path, it looks easy at first, right? But it's a trap. It leads to this constant internal battle, you're always starting over, and it creates so much hardship in the long run. The disciplined path? Yeah, it requires some upfront work, some discomfort, but the result is automatic execution and, ironically, long-term ease. It becomes the true path of least resistance. So let's just quickly recap the most crucial takeaways here. Number 1, please stop trying to rely on willpower. Start building systems instead. Number 2, your environment is going to win, so you might as well design it to work for you, not against you. 3, real change, the kind that lasts, it starts with your identity, not just your actions. And maybe the most important takeaway of all, discipline is not some magic trait you're born with. It is a skill that anyone can engineer. And that really leaves us with one final, simple question. The old way is a constant, exhausting battle against your own biology. The new way is about understanding your own psychology and designing a life where the right choices become the easy choices, where success becomes almost inevitable. So which path will you choose? Are you going to keep fighting your brain? Are you finally going to start working with it?